Yeah, nice to be back home here. Got home safe and sound from Denver. Obviously, tough weekend there. Friday night, I thought we had a good start to the game there. We were going toe to toe them there. Thought we established some physical play, and then they got that power play goal, and I thought we kind of our lost our drive a little bit there, and we looked really tired and fatigued, and had no response to their second and third period. I didn't think our compete was good enough, our effort was good enough. So, and then Saturday, I thought we came back with a better game plan. First all systematically against Denver, and I was really happy with our first period there and second period. I thought we had a decent game all game to stay kind of. I think we were out shooting them 19-9 at one point in the game, and so nice for our guys to bounce back with a solid effort on Saturday night after a tough Friday night game. But again, not good enough against the defending national championship team. You know, when you give those guys an opportunity to score, they're putting in the back of their net, and so we have to find ways to sustain that type of play with a team like Denver, and make sure that we give ourselves an ability to find a way to beat those guys. So we still got a long ways to go. Just reflecting on the weekend when you're playing a team of that talent. But the good thing is, I think in the process standpoint on a Saturday, we took some steps forward in the process. Obviously not the results, but when you're playing a team that strong, and that's sometimes what you have to focus on a little bit as a program right now, and where we're at. And so that was kind of the weekend in a nutshell. Yeah.
What do you kind of tell the team to kind of bounce back this week to get their confidence back?
Yeah, I think that's important. I think it's important. That's why I was happy with the effort on Saturday night. Again, if you break down Saturday night's game, they had they got that first goal that was kind of a fan shot that kind of fooled Evan and went to look. I think he was probably going high, and it ended up going 5-hole on him. And then they got that second goal where one of our guys was down the ice and he tapped in the rebound. Their third goal was off our skate. So, and fourth goal is an empty netter. So not really any quality goals against, which is a positive. So again, our guys are learning when you do things a certain way, it gives yourself an opportunity to win. So it's really important that we review that with our guys, and then we show what's not good enough and what was good enough, and get ready for a big series in Western, because I think our guys were a little bit down. I think they, with their past results against Denver, we have to learn as a program to not be afraid of teams like that, and that we can, if we do everything the right way, we can probably compete with teams like that. So again, you just come back and you're positive on Monday and you're ready to go to work. And we had a hard practice on Monday because we also have to earn our opportunity to be successful this weekend. So, but the guys are getting it. The good thing is the group's all together. The coaching staff's with the guys, and I think we have a good mindset knowing that we have to do it together here, and we have to find ways to compete with these top-ranked teams.
Does it help you guys a little bit knowing, okay, right away the next few weeks you've got 3 more opportunities against those top teams to get back and have another chance to prove yourselves?
Yeah, absolutely. You got to be, you can't feel sorry for yourself for too long, because then it's, you're going right back against another top 10 team this weekend. And then, like you said, following that, we got St. Cloud. So we got to figure out ways to get some wins here down the stretch against these top teams. And so you're right back to work on Monday. You're talking about the things we need to focus on. You're making sure their mindsets are refocused, and also sharing with them what it takes to be a top program. And so I think our guys are slowly figuring that out. It takes time. There's no magic switch just to turn into a national contender right off the bat. And so we got to just slowly build on that week to week, and we're working on that today and yesterday.
You're at that point of the season now where you're going to start seeing those teams for a second time, and obviously these first couple are the teams that swept you the first time around. I guess, is there a benefit now having seen these guys, both for you as a staff and for the players that are going up against them a second time, to kind of know a little more about them, given that Western might be missing a couple pieces this weekend? But is there a benefit to that?
Yeah, exactly. We don't talk too much. I mean, we're missing a couple pieces too. It is what it is. You gotta. Yeah, but I think it is nice. You know what to face for the first time as a staff. You know how to prepare the guys. This is what they did when we played them first. Here's some of their tendencies that we got to adjust to. And I think similar to even the Saturday night against Denver, you see what they're doing on a Friday night. They've had 2 weeks to prepare for you. You make adjustments. You see a better game out of there. So I think when players can see here's what they did the first time we played them, here's what we're going to do differently against them this time, I think it helps build their confidence too, and there's a game plan in place. When you're showing them if we do this, we have a chance at executing that. So I think it's really important to make sure that you aren't just going into the second time playing them with the same plan you had the first time, to make sure you're growing as a staff and a team to prepare these guys to have a game plan so they can build some confidence in themselves that, hey, if we do this, we got a chance to win the hockey game.
You have a chance to pick up points, obviously, in any game and any weekend, but do these two series coming up kind of loom large just because, they got 2 against you the first time around? I mean, is there an added emphasis on picking up points these next couple of weekends to try to get some of those back?
I don't think it's weekend. For us, it's just weekend to weekend. Every as in the NCHC, you got to find ways to get wins, and that's the stage we're in there. And that's what the guys, that was our message to the guys on Saturday, like, good effort, but not good enough, unfortunately, and they know it. So it's, again, we can say, hey, that's the defending national championship team. Hey, they got 3 guys that are probably going to play in the NHL maybe at the end of the year this year, but the bottom line is that's the league we play in, that's who we play against. We have to find ways to get points and get wins. So it's no different than this weekend. You get another good opponent coming in, and we have to work on all those things. But eventually, you got to find ways to do it. And that's what we talked about on Saturday night after the game, and the disappointment in that, and the attention to detail this week of we need certain guys that are going to step up and somehow help the team, make a big play, right? You look at Denver, and you play a solid game, yet they got a couple of guys that step up and make kind of really good plays to allow themselves to get a win, and we need guys to do the same thing, So we got to kind of find that mojo as a team where we can figure out ways to, get a few guys to step up in key moments, or drive the net hard, or make a hard play, or defensively or offensively that's going to be maybe a game changer. And it could, in this conference, could be one play. And so we need to find that ability to have a way to knock off some of these top teams.
Do you feel like the guys went through any kind of identity crisis, just going from the weekend where you score 15 to a weekend where you don't score at all? I
don't think so. I think our guys are pretty, they're starting to understand the mental toughness aspect of it. They're starting to understand the process to things. They're disappointed when we don't score, obviously, and we're changing up the lines a little bit this week. I think anytime you don't score any goals, you also got to look to see what we can get going here against some of the top opponents. That's one thing we're looking at this week is when it's a little bit different. Some lines are a little bit more successful against different opponents, and some lines aren't. So, we have to evaluate that as a staff of, where these guys might have successful against a bit of a slower team. All of a sudden you play a team with NHL players and top teams that they're just not getting the same success. Or vice versa. Maybe this is a really heavy and hard team. This is a small, quick team. So what different combinations can we come up with to maybe help certain lines succeed 5-on-5 with 5-on-5 play? So that's something we're tweaking a little bit this week to see if we can give the guys a little bit different looks on their line to help out depending on what type of opponent we're going to face.
Yeah, how's this gone for you? Because the guys are in a learning process right now, and you're trying to get them better. But for yourself too, coaching in this conference, first time through, what have you learned, and what kind of adjustments do you find yourself having to make or looking forward to making as you move forward in the schedule?
I think one point is just how good the league is. When you watch a team like Denver play, and systematically and structure-wise, they're very, very structured, very systematic. You hear their coach talk. That's all he talks about is systems and structure. And then now you combine that with some elite hockey players. They won a national championship. So again, from us, it just goes to show us from a practice standpoint how we have to play as a team, a system standpoint, stretch, and then also from a personnel standpoint. That motivates you to have recruits in on Sunday and make sure you're keeping that process going to try to recruit the talent that you need to compete in this conference. And so I think it's a good process to go through as a staff, and for our players too. The players are starting to really buy in. We had a really good meeting on Monday, and I think they're understanding that we're in it together and that what it takes to be successful in this conference. And to me, that's inspiring as a coach, because like you said, you got to be careful with their confidence a little bit too when you're constantly playing against these top teams. If all you're focused on is results, and at some points, even if you play perfect, you still might not get the win against some of these teams that you're facing. So you got to make sure that you're building their confidence but in the same breath, holding them accountable to very high expectations on how we do things. And we're doing that here. There's no easy days here. And the guys are responding to that too. And the good players know that too. Like, the good players want to be held accountable. They want to be challenged. They want to get better. And so that's the fun environment I think we're starting to create here, where it's a demanding environment, and it will weed a few guys out because it's not for everybody. And we made that clear to guys on Saturday night too. I mean, hey, this isn't for everybody, and if you're not willing to do things the way we want to do things here at this program, you're going to get passed over or you're going to get let go. So it's a bit of a message to the team, but it's also in the same breath exciting because the majority of the guys in there are excited for that and they want to get better and they're willing to work hard. So we got to focus on that this week, and it's not going to be any easy opponents, but if we keep doing those things, I promise the guys will get rewarded eventually for it.
Friday, you mentioned a little bit of fatigue later in the game, and especially on the PK. Did you see that a lot in the third period especially?
Yeah, we just looked tired. Again, I don't know if, guys are beat up right now, like you said. I mean, everybody's got injuries, though, and got guys battling through things, and it was the first kind of week of practice for a lot of guys that we kind of had a few more guys back in the lineup this weekend, but it was also just four practice for those guys. I think we talked about it last week where in this conference, like, you almost need at least 1 week, if not 2 or 3, to bring yourself back up to the pace that you're going to face. And then you combine that with a defending national champion team that had 2 weeks off that was just flying around there on Friday. You're going to get tired quickly. So bottom line, wasn't good enough. Wasn't good enough on Friday, but I thought Saturday we skated better and our effort was better and our compete level was better and our legs caught up to us a little bit here. So it's that fine line right now between, pushing yourself in practice and also knowing this is our 5th week in a row of playing and the rest part of the thing. So it's a tough balance. So we got to kind of work on that as a staff with our strength and conditioning and figure that out, that perfect medium of working hard, but also letting the guys have energy for the weekend.
Mike, I know you don't want to get too bogged down in history, but when you look back at your days and the old Central Collegiate Hockey Association, it was top heavy with Michigan State, Ohio State had some NHLers you would have played against. But how does this conference, as you look at it, compare when you look back at those days in that CCHA?
Yeah, I think it's stronger, probably, to be honest. I think like you said, we still had the Michigans and the Michigan States and stuff, and it was deep for sure. But then you would have a couple of the other smaller programs in that conference too. And if you look at this conference, I mean, I don't know the stats either, but I mean, there's probably some pretty teams that have won championships or made it to the tournament pretty consecutively and produced a lot of NHL players consecutively. So, I mean, that's a huge recruiting sell for us right now, though. You come to this conference and you get better and you work on your game and you become a hockey player in this conference, you're probably getting a shot at the NHL. So, I mean, that's pretty rewarding. You'll see it right there in Denver. They probably got 3 guys that might play in the NHL this year. And so if you're a good hockey player, you come here and you put in the work, you got a chance to be a professional hockey player. That's a pretty neat opportunity. So, again, I think that's the selling point for our recruiting for sure. And as a staff, you got to remember that too. When you want to be hard on the guys, but you got to be careful about being too hard on them too soon too, because they are oftentimes facing these elite players where at the end of the day, besides Friday, for me, that's why effort's so important and compete level's so important. Because if you're competing hard and you just end up on the wrong side of the goal total, we can live with that. What else can you ask out of some of these guys? So, but if you're not competing, then that's an issue. So again, that's what we evaluate as a staff of our gameplay. And Friday night we weren't good enough, and Saturday night I'd say probably I think it was a 1-goal game. Probably could have went either way. Probably a 1-goal game, but that's something against a national championship team that you can live with at least as a coach and build off of. So that was kind of our assessment. Yeah.
Competition the same this week as far as goal between Evan and Chris and Alex, and kind of make a decision as you get a little closer to the weekend.
Yeah, the good thing is I thought Evan was good on both nights in Denver. I think on Friday, I can't, again, I don't know the stats at all, but I thought he was okay. And then I thought on Saturday he was pretty solid again. If you look at their goals, that first one was a kind of a tip fan shot, and other than that, it was a tap in back door. It was off our skate and in, and then it was an empty net goal. So I give them one good solid goal out of that weekend, and so I thought it was nice to see him have a good Saturday game, which I think is important moving forward if he's going to get a chance to play back to back. If it works out that way, that he can play well on Saturday.
Yeah, it's obviously frustrating, but it's a new week and we got a new challenge ahead of us. So we're just going to try to use it as motivation, and obviously not scoring 1 goal in the weekend is a little frustrating, but I think. You can see in the previous games and early on in the season, we're able to score goals, so I don't think that's much of a worry. So, we got a new task here with Western, and we're just ready to get it going.
Yeah, I mean, the weekend was tough. We haven't had much luck in Denver the last couple of years and times we've been there, but this weekend's a new challenge, like Joel said, and I think we're looking forward to Western and trying to put the puck in the back of the net this weekend. And I mean, I think we outshot them one of the nights and close the second night, so I don't think I'm too worried about that. But I think we just have to worry about Western Michigan and get 2 wins here.
Is it different going through the conference now the second time where, you've seen this Western team before this season? And I guess how's that help you prepare, having already been on the ice with this group, not just from year to year, but actually within the same season?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, playing a team, you kind of know what's coming, and being at home is a little different than playing there too. So we have to use that as our advantage. So you know their personnel, what they're going to do, how they're going to play. So that's definitely an advantage. But it's same thing for them. They know where we're going to bring and stuff. So both teams are just getting better throughout the season. So it's going to be a great weekend.
Is there a bigger chip on your shoulder just because you didn't get one up there when you went?
I think our goal and our mindsets are kind of always the same, no matter what the weekend is. Do we have a little more? Probably because we're a little frustrated. But I think, going into every weekend, we got the same goals. So I don't think it changes too much.
Yeah, I think more so last weekend's motivation for me and some of the guys, a lot of the guys in the locker room. It's not fun losing to Denver that many times. It's not fun getting swept by anybody by any means. So coming into this weekend, we want 2 wins, and I think we're going to get them.
Joel, Coach Gavin mentioned that they're kind of challenging the guys Saturday night after the game. Weekend wasn't good enough and stuff like that. But as a captain, do you kind of extend those conversations amongst the guys too, and just make sure that everyone's kind of flushing that and moving on and making sure everyone is putting forward the work that needs to be done?
Yeah, for sure. As part of the leadership here, you just kind of try to come to the rink and do the right things. Not a guy that really talks too much. Kind of just try to lead by example and make sure guys are holding each other accountable. And after practice and stuff, we kind of just remind each other, what we got ahead. Kind of learn, week by week, and try to get the young guys going and stuff like that. So it's it's tough, but like I said, just trying to do the right things and lead by example.
For both of you guys, just the success at home, especially so far in the second half. Obviously, it's gone well for you. How important is that when you look at this weekend, obviously, but the upcoming schedule here as well?
Yeah, I mean, playing home is great. We have the best fans in college hockey. We have best facilities. Just being able to stay in your own bed all week is great. Going on the road can be tough sometimes, and I think the success here is just done for us getting rest and doing all those little things that we can do, practicing here, and we love playing here. It's the best place to play. So I think that's a huge part of the success.
It was one of our goals this year too. Have a better home record, and so it feels good. And I think we're kind of building on that momentum. So like Steven said, to be in your own bed and just have that routine every day that you're used to, it feels nice. And to get the results at home, it's great.
You're going through a stretch here, guys, and I think Dave looked this up last week because we knew you had to be reaching like an all-time mark for this program. I think this is the 7th weekend you played a ranked team, and that St. Cloud and North Dakota are still coming up, so it's not ending anytime there. What's that grind been like to just have to grab that? I mean, this conference kind of demands it anyway, but to have to get up for the challenge every single week after week, and try to find some consistency while doing that.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing that you can say in hockey is embrace the grind. And to be honest, I find the most fun thing about hockey is coming to the rink and having someone pushing you. And it's usually the other team, like you said. I mean, we're ranked too. We're pretty high up there. I mean, we're not as high as we want to be, but I think a lot of people are kind of worried when we come in too. So it's fun to have that as well. But we all want to play hockey at the next level, and you're not going to do it going out and playing some of these teams in different conferences. So having these teams come in is great. It's always fun. And that Saturday night, you get 2 wins. You're dripping in sweat, no energy. It's the best feeling.
Yeah, I just kind of compare it to junior hockey, where you play a lot of games throughout the week and the weekend, where college hockey you play only on the weekend. So you got all week, and you sort of get that itch back in your body, and you're ready to go. So for us, it's pretty easy to get up on Friday and Saturday to go play some hockey. And, we love playing the game, and it's the best conference in college hockey. So it's pretty expected to play these ranked teams.
That always kind of made it easier just with this conference, knowing that it doesn't matter if it's CC or North Dakota or whoever, they're good, and you can maybe even look past the actual team name and just know that, well, we know we have a good team this weekend, so that just kind of keeps everything sort of consistent the way you prepare.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, every week's the same. I don't think we look into the other opponents too much. We watch video and break things down, but we talk as a team. Ultimately, it comes down to us and what we're going to do, no matter who we play. The rest of the year, we got great teams coming in, and we're going to play some great teams. So just how we prepare and what we're doing.
How have you guys seen Gabs adjust over the course of the year? And he's still kind of, learning what it's like in this conference week to week, and watching you guys adjust as well. What have you seen out of him as you've kind of gone through the season so far?
Well, he's always learning, just like us. I mean, he always comes to us with new materials, new things, and telling us things that he learned. So he's just like us. He's a sponge. He's soaking everything in from NHL to AHL to everything above us that we can soak in. So he's coming at us with new systems. Kind of now we got our good one, or our systems down. Kind of taking it to the next level, doing these next level things that we're going to need for this last playoff push.
Yeah, and I think another great thing is that he really asked for our feedback and what we want, how we're feeling, and how we like to do things. And I think that's great too, because like we were talking before, it's kind of a grind here, and you can kind of feel it in your body. But he's does a great job of having positive attitude no matter what. I know we come on Monday and he's fired up and he's ready to go, especially after a weekend like Denver. But he's still ready to go, and that translates into us. He's positive. We go out to practice, have a great practice. So it's great to see.
Steven, you're a power type forward, like to get the speed going through the neutral zone, and you move past Denver, of course, as a team, but you certainly like to get another crack at them. Maybe St. Paul comes to mind down the road. What makes them so tough to play against that Denver team for a forward like you?
The first night we didn't have much in the O-zone, and that's tough for a forward like me and all the other guys. You got to put the puck in the back of the net, and the best thing they're at is kind of swarming the puck, but doing it really smart. There's always 5 guys in the picture. There's always 3 guys on you with 2 others taking every other option away. So Saturday night we had a little bit better luck just getting in deep and kind of getting into our D-man and just getting in front and getting shots. So being a fast forward, they're pretty fast too. They're tracking back, they're back checking you, they're not giving you an inch. And like you guys were saying, all these ranked teams do that, and that's what you got to do to be a good team. And so we got to find a way to put the puck in the back of the net.
A couple things that kind of stand out, Joel. Last time against Western, other than the result, what are maybe some of the things that they bring challenging-wise this weekend?
Yeah, I think they have 4 forward lines that kind of play all the same way. They're physical and they're fast, and they really come at you. In a sense, they're a little bit like Denver, where they always have 5 guys in the picture, and in their offense or in their D zone. They really like to swarm the puck, and they're on you quick, kind of like Steven was saying. So you got to move the puck low to high quick. They're a tough, big team, and they got some skilled guys. I know they're down a couple key players, but they got some depth, and they just play really hard, and they're big and heavy. So that's kind of what we know what they're going to bring, and that's what they've been the past couple of years.